All praise is due to the one who created us with hearts, emotions, and the ability to grow through every stage of life. Dear brothers and sisters, one of the greatest challenges of our time is not loneliness, but dependence. Many people are surrounded by others, yet they feel empty. Why? Because their happiness is tied to people who are imperfect, inconsistent, and temporary. Let us understand a simple truth in an educational and practical way. People can support you, but they were never meant to complete you. Understand the nature of people. People will change. People will disappoint. People will leave, sometimes without explanation. This is not because they are evil, but because they are human. When your happiness depends entirely on someone else, you are handing them control over your emotional well-being. That is a burden no human can carry. Learn this early. Expect goodness from people, but never expect perfection. Build a relationship with yourself. Being alone does not mean being lonely. Loneliness is when you dislike your own company. Okay? Spend time understanding yourself. What gives you peace? What drains you? What values guide your decisions? When you know yourself, silence becomes comfortable, not frightening. Solitude becomes a place of growth, reflection, and strength. Connect your heart to what is constant. Everything in this world changes, except the one who created it. Okay, when your heart is attached to the temporary, you will always fear loss. But when your heart is anchored to what is eternal, you gain stability. This connection brings calm during isolation and patience during hardship. Enter como phase amar. A heart that trusts in a higher purpose does not collapse when people walk away. Learn gratitude in small moments. Happiness is not found by adding more people to your life, but by appreciating what already exists within it. Learn to be grateful for, your breath, your health, your ability to learn and improve. Gratitude shifts the focus from what is missing to what is meaningful. Set healthy emotional boundaries. Needing people is natural. Depending on them emotionally is dangerous. Do not expect others to fix your sadness, validate your worth, or constantly reassure you. Emotional maturity means you appreciate support, but you can stand without it. This balance creates strong relationships, not needy ones. Use alone time as preparation, not punishment. Alone time is not a sign of failure. It is often preparation for something greater. It teaches patience. It strengthens resilience. It builds wisdom. Many strong individuals were shaped in moments where they had no one except their values and their faith. True happiness begins with inner peace and purpose, not with constant reliance on people's approval, attention, or presence. Many individuals grow up believing that happiness will arrive when someone understands them fully, stays with them permanently, or fulfills their emotional needs consistently. This belief creates a fragile foundation because it places something deeply internal into external hands. Inner peace, by contrast, is a state that develops when a person, inner peace is a state that develops when a person understands their worth, accepts their reality, and aligns their life with meaningful values rather than shifting emotions or opinions of others. Depending on people for happiness often leads to emotional instability. When someone praises you, you feel uplifted. When they ignore you, you feel worthless. This emotional fluctuation is exhausting and unsustainable. Inner peace teaches emotional regulation, the ability to remain calm and grounded regardless of external reactions. It does not mean you stop caring about people, but it means your sense of self is not shaken by their moods or absence. Purpose plays a critical role in this process. A person without purpose naturally seeks validation from others because they lack internal direction. When your life is guided by purpose, whether it is personal growth, service, learning, or spiritual development, your focus shifts from who is with me to why am I here. Purpose gives meaning to solitude and strength to silence. It allows you to wake up each day with intention rather than expectation from people. Inner peace is also developed through self-acceptance. Many people depend on others because they have not made peace with who they are. They look for someone else to affirm their worth, cover their insecurities, or distract them from unresolved inner struggles. When you accept yourself, your strengths, weaknesses, progress, and limitations, you stop seeking constant reassurance. Acceptance does not mean complacency. It means recognizing your value while continuing to improve. Another important aspect is emotional responsibility. True happiness requires taking responsibility for your emotions instead of outsourcing them. When you say, "This person makes me happy," or "That person ruined my peace," you are surrendering control. Inner peace teaches that emotions are responses, not commands. People may influence how you feel, but they do not own your emotional state unless you allow them to. Learning this distinction is a major step toward independence and maturity. Relying on people for happiness also places unfair pressure on relationships. No human can consistently meet emotional expectations without eventually failing. People have their own struggles, limits, and responsibilities. When happiness is rooted internally, relationships become lighter, healthier, and more genuine. You appreciate people for who they are, not for what they provide emotionally. This reduces disappointment and resentment, two major causes of broken relationships. Silence and solitude play an educational role in building inner peace. When distractions are removed, a person confronts their thoughts, fears, and desires. Many avoid being alone because they fear facing themselves. Learning to sit with your thoughts builds emotional strength. It teaches patience, clarity, and self-awareness. Over time, solitude becomes a place of renewal rather than discomfort. Inner peace also grows through trust in life's process. Constant dependence on people often stems from fear of being alone, fear of abandonment, fear of uncertainty. Purpose-driven individuals understand that not everything is meant to stay forever. Some people are lessons, some are support, and some are temporary companions. Accepting this reality reduces anxiety and allows you to remain calm even when circumstances change. When happiness is internal, it becomes consistent. It does not disappear when messages go unanswered or plans change. It remains during quiet days and uncertain seasons. This consistency builds confidence, resilience, and emotional stability. You begin to enjoy companionship without clinging to it, and solitude without fearing it. Ultimately, inner peace and purpose transform happiness from something you chase into something you carry. People then become additions to your life, not requirements for your emotional survival. This shift is essential for long-term well-being, healthy relationships, and a balanced, grounded life. Emotional independence is built through faith, self-awareness, gratitude, and trust, allowing a person to remain content whether alone or surrounded by others. Emotional dependence often develops when individuals believe that their emotional stability must be maintained by someone else's presence, reassurance, or attention. This mindset creates vulnerability because the moment support is withdrawn, emotional balance collapses. Emotional independence, however, allows a person to experience emotions without being controlled by them and to value relationships without being emotionally captive to them. Faith plays a foundational role in emotional independence because it connects the heart to something greater than human limitation. People are inconsistent by nature. Their priorities shift, their energy fluctuates, and their understanding is incomplete. When the heart is anchored in faith, it finds stability beyond human unpredictability. This connection provides comfort during solitude and strength during loss, reminding a person that they are never truly abandoned, even when people are absent. Self-awareness is equally essential. Many people depend on others emotionally because they are unaware of their own triggers, fears, and unmet needs. When emotions arise without understanding, they become overwhelming. Self-awareness teaches individuals to recognize why they feel anxious, insecure, or lonely, instead of immediately seeking external comfort. This understanding allows emotional responses to be processed internally rather than projected onto others. Developing self-awareness also involves recognizing patterns of attachment. Some individuals repeatedly seek validation, reassurance, or attention because they associate these with worth. By observing these patterns, without judgment, a person begins to break them. Emotional independence grows when one learns to self-soothe, reflect, and respond thoughtfully, rather than react impulsively to emotional discomfort. Gratitude is a powerful tool in reducing emotional dependence. When a person constantly focuses on what they lack, companionship, recognition, or affection, they naturally seek fulfillment from others. Gratitude shifts attention to what is already present. Appreciating health, opportunities, knowledge, and personal growth creates internal satisfaction. This mindset reduces the emotional hunger that drives dependence on people. Gratitude also strengthens resilience. When relationships change or end, a grateful person reflects on what was gained rather than what was lost. This perspective prevents bitterness. Instead of feeling empty after separation, one feels enriched by experience and lessons learned. Trust is another key element in emotional independence. Trust in life's unfolding, in timing, and in purpose allows a person to release control over people and outcomes. Many depend on others emotionally because they fear uncertainty. Trust replaces fear with calm acceptance. It teaches that what is meant to stay will remain, and what leaves does so with wisdom behind it. Emotional independence does not mean emotional isolation. It does not reject connection or support. Rather, it redefines them. Relationships become spaces of mutual growth rather than emotional survival. When someone is emotionally independent, they can love deeply without fear of loss because their identity and peace are not tied to another's presence. Learning to sit with discomfort is an important educational aspect of emotional independence. Discomfort is often mistaken for loneliness, when in reality it is growth. By allowing emotions to pass without immediate external distraction, a person develops emotional endurance. This ability builds confidence in one's capacity to handle life independently. Boundaries are a natural result of emotional independence. When you are not dependent, you do not overextend yourself emotionally or tolerate unhealthy dynamics out of fear of losing people. You engage with others from a place of choice rather than need. This leads to healthier interactions, clearer communication, and mutual respect. Contentment, whether alone or among people, is the ultimate sign of emotional independence. It reflects balance, enjoying companionship without craving it, and appreciating solitude without resisting it. Such contentment creates stability, maturity, and peace that are not shaken by change, absence, or uncertainty,